Hey guys, thanks for checking in. Today is going to be an Adele tutorial. This is based on the makeup that she wore at the Grammys last night, depending when I post this up, but you know, the Grammys have just happened. And she had two looks. She had one on the red carpet and she had one that she had when she performed Rolling in the Deep and throughout the night. So I did the first one because it had a bold lip, and I haven't really done a bold lip. I think I only have one video based on a bold lip, so I thought I'd do another one. But I might be doing the second look because I really like it, and yeah, I love Adele. So let me just stop talking and get right to the tutorial. So first you want to make sure that your skin is clean, that there's no dirt, no oil, so you want to wash your face first. Then you want to moisturize. This is going to help lay your foundation smoothly so it won't look cakey, it'll just be smooth and dewy. And then I'm going to be taking my MAC Luster Drops in Sun Rush, and I'm just going to apply just about like a drop and a half onto there, and I'm just going to rub my fingers together and just pat this all over. The foundation I'll be using is my Makeup Forever HD, and this is in the shade 173. And I'm just going to apply one pump. Even one full pump is a lot for me, but you want to work very quickly with this foundation because it sets. You don't want it to start setting before you applied it onto your desired areas and blended it where you wanted it to go. So you gotta kind of work quickly. So I kind of work in sections. So what I do is just I take some on the brush and I stipple it onto the middle of my face first, and then I spread it out with some patting motions. Next is concealer. I'm using my Avon concealer in the color Golden, and I'm just going to apply that under my eyes and a little bit on my cheekbone area. And I'm going to be taking a fluffy tone brush like this. This is the E40 from Sigma. And I'm just going to buff that concealer under my eye and make sure I blend it into my cheekbones as well. Next, I'm going to fill in my brows. It isn't very sharp, her eyebrows. They are definitely filled in, but they aren't sharp, so they're like kind of lightly filled in. They're not really ultra defined, kind of more natural looking. So I'm gonna go in with my eyebrow kit from e.l.f. in medium, and I'm gonna be using a large shader brush, and I'm going to just apply that brow powder onto my brows. Using a fluffy brush just applies it a little bit more lightly instead of something that's more sharp like a angled brush. It definitely makes a difference. So there's no question that liner was definitely the big trend on the red carpet at the Grammys, and Adele did keep up with that trend, but she also put a bit of a satin shade on her lid to kind of give it a little bit more of a glamorous old Hollywood kind of a look. So on my lid I'm going to be using my e.l.f. cream shadow. This is the closest I can find to what she's actually wearing on her lid, and this is one of their fairly new products, and this is in Natural Glow. And I'm going to be taking a F70, it's a concealer brush from Sigma. This is a bit smaller, so it's easier for me to put this just on my lid. It's going to be taking that product and working it just on my lid. So you see how I have this line going over here? I'm gonna stop right there. Apply a generous amount. So after we applied our base, we're going to apply our shadow. And when it comes to dull looks, your best palette, if you like working with palettes or you don't have many individual shadows, you have more palettes, the best palette to work with when it comes to dull looks is the Warm palette, because she likes to stick with her neutrals, her browns, and she doesn't really use a lot of color. So I'm going to be mixing 2 shades, and it's going to be this one right here and this shade. So I'm going to be mixing those 2 together. I'm just going to push this right on the lid, right on top of that base we applied. And you want to go all the way in. Just gonna apply a little bit in the ear tear duct. It's gonna brighten up the eye area. Next, using my black cream liner and an angled brush, I'm going to be making a very thick, very thick line on my lash line, on my top lash line, with a wing, and bring it in. Next, I'm going to be tightlining with my Sephora Flashy Liner Waterproof, and I'm going to be tightlining just so there isn't any spaces with the liner, making sure that's pretty full. And then I'm going to be taking a liner brush, and I'm going to be kind of taking some of that liner onto the brush, just a very bit of it, because it seems like Adele has a little bit of her lashes darken at her lash line, her bottom lash line. So what I'm just gonna do is darken it up a little bit, very softly. Next is lashes. So I had a pair of lashes, they were too big, so what I did was I cut them in half and I kind of put them together. So now it's more full and it will fit just on the corner to give it that flare you see over here. So I'm going to be taking a bit of Duo Lash Glue and just putting a good coat of that on the band, and making sure I get the corners. And I'm going to be taking my tweezers, and you just want to wait till that glue gets tacky. So you want to fan it, blow it, do that for a bit, for a couple seconds, so it gets tacky enough so it can stick really well and it won't be all over the place. I'm going to just finish up the face. So we're just going to be taking that a fluffy brush again and the translucent powder to set our concealer, so it won't crease throughout the night. And I'm just going to be taking some powder and kind of dusting it on my T-zone area. Don't want to get rid of that glow, just excess shine that's not necessary or shouldn't be there. I've already contoured on this side. Adele does not have any blush whatsoever. So but I see that she did a little bit of a contouring, so we're gonna do just that. And I'm gonna be grabbing my F05 brush and my new Wet n Wild bronzer, and I'm gonna be taking some, and I'm just going to apply that on the hollows of the cheeks. So when you contour, kind of want to make a triangle. So you want to start at like where the hollow is, and then bring it up into the hairline, just like that. And you want to be light, and then if you need more, you build, and then it kind of just blend it upwards, not down, because you look like you'll have a 5 o'clock shadow. Then I will be highlighting my cheekbone area with the NYX blush in Sand, and still using an F05 brush. I'm going to take a bit of this. This is a bit on the chunky side, so you want to be careful to just tap off the excess. And I'm just going to apply some of the highest points. I'm going to take a bit right here because I kind of want some of that glow there. So Adele really knocked everyone out their shoes with her bold red lip. Very bright, very kind of like spring inspired. So we're going to do a red lip, and obviously I'm not going to be using the same color that she used because she's way lighter than I am. So I'm just going to be creating my own shade that's ideal for me and my shade. So I'm going to be taking these two e.l.f. lipsticks. This is the closest I can find in my collection to what she has, and this is in Posh and in Voodoo. And I'm just going to be taking these two shades. She doesn't have any lip liner. She just kind of, I guess she cleaned up with concealer. So we'll see how we apply it, just, you know, first. And then if we need concealer to clean up, we'll do just that. So I'm just going to be taking Voodoo first. And I'm going to be very careful on how I apply the lipstick. Then I'm going to be taking, this looks really funny, my second shade, Posh, and I'm going to apply that to the bottom. As you can see, this is way brighter, so matching it will make it ideal for me. So what I'm doing now is just meshing the two colors together. She doesn't have any type of gloss, but you can tell that the lips is very matte. Now with these lipsticks, they do kind of have like a glossy type of finish. So I do have a trick in making like a glossy kind of a lipstick and to a little bit more matte, or matte as possible. So what I do is I take a translucent powder and I kind of put some on my finger, like so, and I pat that on top of my lip to kind of matte it out. Then I kind of do one of these, and as you can see, it kind of mattes out the shade a bit. So that's my little trick on that. So make sure it's translucent because you don't want a whole bunch of white powder on your lips, because they'll be accusing you for something that I don't think you want to be accused for, you know what I'm saying? That is it. That is all for our Adele tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really like this. It's like a very simple eye, nothing too much going on the eye, just a little bit of shadow and winged eyeliner and very flared lashes, which I'm loving today, and a very bold red lip. I'm not a big fan of red lip, especially bright red. I like my deep tone reds, but yeah, this is not bad. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.